slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping.
If you're watching this video, you're probably an Arnold. And the Arnolds have a story. And I think it's a good one. Who are they? What did they do? I'll tell you this much on the front end. The Arnolds are utterly American. And they are all about the frontier. But you have to watch the rest of this video to get the full story. What were the Arnolds' personalities like? How far back did the Arnolds go? Well, if you think about it, our direct line of paternal ancestors goes all the way back to Noah and to Adam. But the point where they took on the last name of Arnold, we can safely bet that goes back at least to the 13th century when last names became common. But how far back can we go? Well, if you watch this entire video, and it looks like it might take a little while, you'll find out. One of the most important questions in life is, who am I? And one of the key ingredients to answering that question lies in who your father is and who your ancestors are. Jesus is known as the Father, Son, and the Father in heaven is called Father because he is notable for having a son named Jesus. When you read the Bible, there's a lot about fathers and ancestors and family trees and being buried with your fathers and that kind of thing. I think the Jews understood a lot better than we do the importance of knowing our family history. In fact, Easterners in general are more in tune with all of this to the point where some of them in the Orient go overboard and actually worship their ancestors. So obviously there's something to this. A heritage is kind of like money. It's not the most important thing, but if you have it, be grateful and don't squander it. But first, you have to learn it. The best place to get information on your family roots is from the oldest living relatives. Well, my dad, Jack Arnold, and his brother, Gary, they have a lot to tell me about their father, Cliff, who I also knew personally, and also about their grandfather, Clarence, who was before my time. But beyond that, I asked them both, and they didn't know anything beyond their grandfather. Zippo, not a name, an occupation, general part of the country, or anything. Thankfully, we've got a little red book. Yep, this little beauty right here was compiled by Mrs. Frances Arnold in 1938. Frances was married to my grandfather, Cliff Arnold, his brother, Clyde. And she took the time to write down the Sunday afternoon stories she got from Clyde's mom and dad, your great-great-grandparents. It's called The History of the Arnold Family. It goes back a couple of generations, and it tells the basic facts, the basic story, and a few fun anecdotes about Clarence Arnold and his father, William Henry Arnold. Without it, we know almost nothing. Thanks, Frances. As we move on with the story, let me mention that the main audience I have in mind for this video is the generation in front of me. That's my kids and my 10 nieces and nephews. During this video, when I refer to a third or a fourth or a fifth great grandfather, I plan to be referring to you guys as ancestors. But when I refer to my grandfather, well, that's your great-grandfather. Because in this video I'm trying to provide some adequate historical documentation, while at the same time trying to make it somewhat entertaining, it may not be completely satisfactory on either count. For further documentation, get with me later. For better entertainment, well, I guess you'll have to wait for the Hollywood version. So here we go with the story of the Arnolds.